You might be president of PepsiCo, you might be on the board of directors, but when you enter this house, you're the wife, you're the daughter-in-law, you're the mother, you're all of that. Nobody else can take that place. So leave that damn crown in the garage and don't bring it into the house.
Indra, you run a company with 300,000 employees, almost $70 billion in revenues. You come home one day as president of the company, just appointed, and your mom's not that impressed. Will you tell that story?
This was about 14 years ago, and I was working in the office. I worked very late, and we were in the middle of the Quaker Oats integration, or the acquisition. And I got a call at about 9:30 in the night from the existing chairman and CEO at that time, and said to me that, Indra, we're going to announce you as president and put you on the board of directors of PepsiCo. I mean, I was overwhelmed because, look at my background, where I came from. To be president of an iconic American company and to be on the board of directors, I thought it was just something special had happened to me. So rather than stay and work till midnight, which I really would have done because I had so much work to do, I decided to go home and share the good news with my family. So I got home at about 10, parked the car, got into the garage, and my mother was waiting at the top of the stairs. And I said to her, Mom, I got great news for you. And she said, well, then let the news wait. Can you go out and get some milk? I said to Mom, look, I looked in the garage. Looks like my husband is home. What time did he get home? She said, 8 o'clock. I said, why didn't you ask him to buy the milk? Because he's tired. Okay. He's tired. He's tired. We have a couple of help at home. Why didn't you ask them to get the milk? She said, because I forgot. I said, okay, fine. She said, just go get the milk. We need it for the morning. So I, like a dutiful daughter, I went out and got the milk and came back. I sort of banged it on the counter and I said, I had great news for you. I've just been told that I'm going to be president and on the board of directors, and all that you want me to do is to go out and get the milk. What kind of a mom are you? And she said to me, let me explain something to you. You might be president of PepsiCo, you might be on the board of directors, but when you enter this house, you're the wife, you're the daughter-in-law, you're the mother, you're all of that. Nobody else can take that place. So leave that damn crown in the garage and don't bring it into the house. Now, I have to tell you, David, I've never seen that crown. I've never seen it. Between my husband and my kids, they've hidden it, so I haven't seen it ever.
Now that you look back, Indra, could you see that your mother was ambitious for you? Was she ambitious for you? And how did she convey either ambition or the possibility that the world was your oyster?
We grew up, my sister and I have an older sister that's known to many people here, and very smart, a year older than I and myself, and we have a much younger brother. The two of us grew up in a very, very strict, conservative family. My mother never went to college because her parents didn't have the money to send her to college, and she was very smart. So she lived her life vicariously through the daughters. She would ask us to dream and be whatever we wanted. At the same time, she would say, at 18, I'm going to find a guy and marry you off. So it was this constant conflict at home. She's going to find a guy and say, you got to marry him. At the same time, she says, dream big. Every night at dinner, we would sit down and we would eat first, and then my mother would sit down to eat, and she would ask the two girls to prepare a speech on, if you were president of the country, what would you do? If you were prime minister of the country, what would you do? At the end of the dinner, we had to give the speech, and she would decide who she's going to vote for. So here is a mom who's suggesting all these and putting us through the paces on these aspirational jobs. At the same time, she's threatening us to find some vague guy and marry him off to us at age 18. And so we always lived in that fear that that could happen. But I think the men in our family, my grandfather and my father, basically put their foot down and said, I don't care if it's girls or boys. They all have to have an equal shot at being whatever they want to be. And we're not going to get them married off at 18. We're going to let them do what they want to do.
Was there ever a moment when your mother stepped back and said, comments about the crown apart, I can't believe what you've done, Indra. What a wonderful run this has been.
Sometimes.
Can I say it for you?
Beg your pardon?
May I say it for you?
No, I'm sure deep down inside she's very proud. But I think it's the South Indian Brahmin tradition to always pretend that you're not proud. So she will always hide it and tell me things like, don't forget your family, don't forget your husband, don't forget your kids, don't forget me, don't forget your mother-in-law. That's all she says to me all the time. But deep down inside, I'm sure she's